Ready? Okay, should we start? Why so many people today? Okay, whenever there is no class, change in numbers. Okay, exams are going on. Exam is going on. Okay, no problem. Fine, so what do you find in the newspaper today? Anything good? So many news. So on the first page, anything good? So I see an image of Home Minister. Home Minister, whenever he goes to Parliament, he creates some controversy. So this time he brought one bill, rather three bills, which are trying to bring some new amendment. So all these three bills, if you see, it includes one constitutional amendment bill, 130th constitutional amendment bill, plus this Government of India, Government of Union Territories amendment bill, and Jammu and Kashmir reorganization amendment bill. All these three bills combined, what they try to do exactly. So their point is, if there is someone, let's say Prime Minister or Chief Minister or any other minister, if they are facing any serious charges, serious criminal charge or something, and for which they are arrested, they are ministers but still they are arrested by police, and they are in custody there for continuously 30 days. Okay, now the argument of government is, if someone is there in the police custody for 30 days, that means those charges are very serious, there must be some substance in that. So for the sake of morality, that person should first leave that office. He should not be minister. It's a rule for Prime Minister, Chief Minister, as well as other ministers, I'm saying. Because a person who is in the constitutional office, who is a minister or something, when you're heading an office, their people's trust is very important. In the governance, trust of people matters a lot. So for the sake of that trust, for the sake of that morality, he should not be there. So they're saying, if you're arrested or detained for 30 consecutive days, consecutive means continuously, right, on serious charges, or you're facing offenses which are punishable with 5+ years of imprisonment. Okay, in that case, they want you should be removed from that office. Okay, let's say 30 days completed, I am the minister and I am in the jail right now, 30 days completed, so I'll be removed from my position as minister. And after a few days, let's say I come back. Okay, the police or whoever has taken me, they leave me, no issues. In that case, I can be again reappointed as that particular minister. Okay. Now in this case, why they brought three different bills? Because they wanted to bring all these three different authorities. So for example, they wanted the rule for Prime Minister and Union Ministers. So for that, they are bringing this amendment. Then they wanted that Chief Ministers and State Ministers, as well as in Union Territory, if there are any ministers, they all should also be there. So for that, they brought these acts. Now the point is, in case of Prime Minister or any other minister at the central level, who will remove them? It is the President who will remove them. In case of Chief Ministers or the State Ministers, it is Governor who will remove them. And in case of Union Territory Ministers, is the Lieutenant Governor position. Right? So overall, they are giving this power to remove them. Is it a good law? Does it seem to be a good law or bad law? By looking at only these provisions, Good. If minister is there, he is arrested, then he should be removed. 30 days you are in jail, he should be removed. Right? Now we'll see the negative side. First of all, he is just arrested. He is not proven as guilty. Right? Just arrested. So investigation is going on. All these things are happening. Maybe after 1 month or 2 months, you'll come to know that he was not guilty. He was an innocent person. But he lost his job. Yes? in judiciary, we go for this one idea that one is considered as innocent until proven guilty. Till the time 100% we are clear that you are a guilty person, you have committed something wrong, till that time we assume you are an innocent person. Right? So don't you think this is going against that principle? Yes? Now one idea is true, that there is one problem called criminalization. Criminalization of politics that has been happening in India. So if you see the datas, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, or member of legislative assemblies, mostly you will observe there are so many people against whom criminal charges are there. Right? It's not a good combination, because if you see the data of 1950, 1960, at that time we did not get such data that in Lok Sabha, whoever is sitting, 30%, 40% are having criminal cases against them. That was not the case. This is a very recent thing that has happened. So it's a trend wherein criminals have entered into politics, or politicians have become criminal. You call anything, it's the same thing. Right? So this step of government is to show that they are taking some step against this criminalization of politics that is happening. If criminals get into politics, they will not make good laws. They'll make laws for themselves, or they'll do whatever is needed for themselves. Simple. Okay. Now what's happening? They are saying, sir, morality, we need morality in politics. That's very true. We certainly need. But the problem is, opposition looks at this particular incident as government's plan to misuse this power. So there was an incident about, let's say, Delhi government, Arvind Kejriwal government. Yes? Not just that incident, but before that also, it has been observed since last few years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years continuously, that government is using some of its agencies like ED, Enforcement Directorate. They're using Enforcement Directorate to take some action against the leaders of opposition party. Okay, so they were arresting them, they were starting some investigation against them. That was very common, and we came to know about this thing better when we got to know that cases are being registered, but the conviction rate, see, case is registered, but finally you are given punishment. Then you will consider that this was the right case. But in most of the cases, it was not happening. Case was being registered, but eventually, finally, we get to know that after all the investigation, he is not guilty. Approximately 25 to 27% cases where we saw that conviction happening. That means majority of the cases, they were fake. They were just cases, just the cases which have been put in. So it was very clear from all these things that government is misusing these authorities just to put some pressure on other political parties, or let's say there's a chief minister of other party in a particular state. So obviously there will be tussle between central government and state government. So there this was happening. And now they're saying, when you do this, you're certainly giving power again to the central government to take action against those chief ministers or ministers who are in different states. So that's the problem. Okay, that's the argument from the opposition side. Third, they are also saying, sir, this is against constitution, anti-federal, undemocratic, because of the same reason that if they are not guilty, how are you removing them from the position? What morality in reality demands? I'll tell you, like, if I have committed something wrong, then my morality will say that I should take some action. Let's say I'm the minister and really I had done something wrong, corruption or something, and now police is arresting me. I should say I'm resigning from my post, because morality is important. Now why? Because even I know that I have done that crime. But when I have not done that crime at all, these people are just putting this blame on me. Then should I resign? Real morality will not say resign. No, I did not do anything wrong. Why should I resign? Simple. Right? So this is something that is happening. They have just introduced the bill. It is not yet passed. Maybe this will reach to some committee. So after some time it might be passed or some amendments will be made. But there will be some time. So we can wait for that update. Right now we don't need to worry much about it. Not ministers, we are saying. MLAs are in just state assemblies. We're talking about those who are in power. They're losing their position. For MLAs or MPs, there is something called disqualification. That's a different thing altogether. Okay? Next is an editorial about nuclear laws and the role of opposition. Any idea what is nuclear liability law? The article is all about nuclear liability. Any idea what is nuclear liability? No? Okay. At least you know what is nuclear power, nuclear energy. Yes, that much basic. See, when we want energy, let's say we are generating electricity, we can generate through different means. One is you take coal, heat it, from that some energy you will gain, and through that energy you are making electricity, right? So that's your thermal power plant. Similarly, there will be different kinds of power plant. One of that is nuclear power plant. From that we get nuclear energy. Now nuclear energy can be used to make weapons also, right? And for electricity also. Now we are thinking just about the electricity part, energy part, not about nuclear weapons. Okay. Now when we are making energy or electricity from nuclear, in that case, if we look the overall electricity that we generate, then we see its share is just 3%. Out of 100% electricity that we are producing, only 3% is being produced using nuclear energy. Okay, and nuclear energy is considered something that is very good, because when you are using, let's say you are making electricity from thermal power plant where there is coal. So from coal, when you are producing electricity, there is lot of emission of many gases which we do not like. Let's say, for example, carbon dioxide and all, right? So there is emission of greenhouse gases. So that leads to pollution, global warming, climate change, all those phenomena. So what we are trying to move or shift towards renewable sources, or some sources which are clean, from where there will not be much emission. Now when we generate electricity from nuclear power plants, there is no emission. Okay, so it's a clean source. It's a clean source. It's a very good source. You can generate electricity and there won't be any kind of emission as such. No carbon dioxide, nothing. So it's a good source. Now the problem is we need more nuclear power plants for that. Okay, problem also is we don't have that material, like you need uranium, that fissile material for this nuclear power plant. We don't have that. We have to import it from other countries. We also need some technologies for these nuclear power plants which India doesn't have. So we need material, resources, technology, all these things, right? Then only we can increase this number. Maybe we can generate more electricity from nuclear power plants. Government has that plan to increase that. Right now our capacity is 8.8 gigawatt. This is present one. And government is saying by 2047 we will make it 50 gigawatt from nuclear power plant. No need to remember the numbers, but just understand that government is planning to expand it, right? Now to expand, you need nuclear materials, you need nuclear technologies, you might need some cooperation with different countries like Russia, America, France, etc., because they will provide you technology. Maybe they will come up with some collaboration, joint project, through which we can generate more electricity from such nuclear power plants. Clear? Now what is happening? The point was, when India had gone for this Pokhran 2 test, yes, for this nuclear weapons, we did this nuclear test in Pokhran. After that, many countries put sanction on India, including America and all other countries. Many countries put sanctions. Now after that, it was difficult for India to get some nuclear supply, these nuclear technologies or something. It was relatively very difficult. Okay, then after that, India got in touch with many countries, specifically with USA, and we had a deal. We made a deal with USA that we call as Indo-US nuclear deal. Okay, after this deal, it was clear that now India can have such collaborations. Many countries can invest in India. They can set up some power plants, they can supply technology, etc., etc. They can supply materials also, technologies also. Okay, so we had gone for this deal, and after that even we had gone for some deals with other countries also. Now after this, it was clear that now India will build more power plants and these technologies will come to India. This was clear. Now what happened? Now there was one problem. Problem is, when these countries, when we tried to get in touch with those investors, those companies who are interested in investing in India, they were saying those companies were concerned about few things. That was the law that is there in India. They're saying, let's say we build a power plant. So let's say we have a company in India. In collaboration with that company, we will build a power plant over there in India. They are concerned if, let's say, there is a disaster in this nuclear power plant. Someday it might happen, a kind of nuclear disaster. If that happens, and nuclear disaster means it would be very dangerous. So you can study about it through that incident happened in Chernobyl. There's even web series on this called Chernobyl. So how dangerous it could be, it's beyond imagination. So many people might die because of that. Many people will suffer because of that. If in case any such disaster happens, then government will have to give some compensation, or someone will have to give the compensation. Now the question is, who will pay the compensation? Is it that company which is coming from USA who invested? Is it that company? Or is it the company who is operating in India? Let's say that could be a government company also. Whether that government company will pay the compensation, this private company coming from USA, they will pay compensation, or the government of India will pay the compensation, who will pay? This is where the question came into picture. That's why those companies were not ready to invest, even if we were ready for it. Now for India also it is very problematic, because we had one incident that is called Bhopal gas tragedy. Ever heard about it? Yes. Now Bhopal gas tragedy, at that time also there was this company, I think from USA, Union Carbide, right? And in that company in Bhopal, that incident happened. There are many movies made on that incident also. You can see that movie to understand how dangerous one disaster could be, sudden disaster. Within a night, thousands of people will die. Now that incident happened, and after that, when it came to compensation, that company ran away. We could not get compensation from that company. It was the mistake of the company for sure. Some mistake they did, their employees or someone did. See, even if any one single employee is making that mistake, it's the mistake of the entire company, right? So they're expected to compensate. Now, after that incident, even Indian government felt that we should strictly make some provisions in the law. So in case of any mistake, whoever made the mistake, they should pay, right? Now here comes the core problem. Now India passed this law in 2010, which is called Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act 2010. Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act 2010. Now see, here we have 2-3 different entities. One is the supplier. Second is the operator. Now see this. Supplier, imagine a US company who is supplying this nuclear material, technologies, etc. Operator is a company in India. Let's say in this case, this NPCIL or some Indian government company. You imagine it as some government company. It could be a private company also, but in this case, I'm assuming the operator is some Indian company, because mostly Indian government doesn't give these things to any private player, because nuclear is something very sensitive, right? Now the question is, in case of nuclear disaster happened, who will pay for the damage? This law particularly says that it is the strict liability on the operator. That means this Indian company who is operating over here, they will pay for the damage. Now additionally it says there is a cap of 1,500 crore. Let's say the damage is of 5,000 crore. The damage is of 5,000 crore. In that case, this operator company will pay 1,500 crore rupees only. Remaining amount will be paid by government. Making sense? Yes. Now still, do you feel that it is possible that it is not operator's mistake, maybe it is supplier's mistake? Maybe supplier provided wrong supply or some faulty supply. The device was faulty, material was faulty. Operator was working in a right manner. His mistake, there was no mistake from the operator side, but supplier's mistake was there. Now in that case, isn't it injustice to the operator? Yes. So there is one more clause in the same act. Section 17B. Operator can recover from supplier for defective equipment or breach. So initially you will pay this, but then you can recover that amount from the supplier if you find out that it was supplier's mistake, if it was defective equipment or there was some breach. In that case, you can get that. Now this is where these companies, the supplier companies, they became alert. Oh, it's risky. They can put all the blame on us, and then we will have to pay. And see, nuclear damage means cost will be very high, right? This is one thing, concern number one. Then concern number two coming from this section 46, which says that there will be action against that person. See, you can recover this money under section 17B from this act. This will run parallel. Parallelly, government or anyone can file another complaint also against that company. So it says other civil or criminal laws are not barred. That means someone can file another parallel case against the supplier. Okay. So if not by this way, by another way, that company might need to pay something, or at least they will face some problems for sure. Now, after looking at these two things, those all investing companies, those suppliers, they said, we will not invest in India. Simple. From whether they are from USA or Russia or France, all of they said, will not do it. They said, internationally, in no country you have such rules. Why India made such strong rules? Will not invest. They are like, Indian government, you change the laws, otherwise we will not invest. So now there is a deadlock. Yes, for Indian government, obviously, our concern is our citizens also. But we want this investment also, otherwise this technology will not come. So we have to balance both the things. And because of that incident of Bhopal gas tragedy, we are more tilted towards having more strong protection for the people, right? But these people, they are not listening. So now government is saying, we are planning to amend these laws. So specifically government said, they are planning to amend this Civil Liability for Nuclear Damages Act brought in 2010, and there's one more act, Atomic Energy Act 1962. Somewhere in this act they are saying maybe we can allow even private players. Like I said that the operator is only from the government side. Maybe even private players might be allowed by that. Okay, so there is a plan from government side to amend these. That's why the discussion is going on. Getting it? Clear at least the incidents what are happening and what is the core problem. Yes, done. Now next, this important news about Agni 5 missile. India successfully tests Agni 5 missile on Wednesday. Okay, from this place called Chandipura in Odisha. Chandipur. This place is also very important. They keep on asking in options, not for these questions, for any questions, somewhere they will put this place. I don't know why UPSC likes it, but they do it. Now see, Agni 5 missile. What do you think? We make so many missiles. Is it that important? We make so many missiles now. This Prithvi missile, this missile, that missile, Trishul, etc., etc. So is Agni very important or okay? What do you think? Opinion. Okay, we'll have like star rating out of 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 star. Which star would you like to give to this missile? Agni 5. 8? Okay, he wants to give 8. You people? Give, it's our missile only. We can rate as per our choice. No idea? So we can give it 10 star. It's the best missile that we have. Okay, it's the best missile that we have right now, I can say. Although some people will say, sir, BrahMos is the best. Certainly, BrahMos is also very good, but I'll tell why it is the best. So, Agni, when you say Agni missile, so specifically, first of all, look at this. Agni 5 missile. See, there are so many Agni missiles. Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, this Agni P prime missile, Agni 5 and Agni 6 is also upcoming. Okay, specifically we're talking about Agni 5 and it is called as intercontinental ballistic missile. Now, this one line will tell why this missile becomes very important. First of all, what is ballistic missile? Then we'll understand what is intercontinental ballistic missile. Any idea what is ballistic? No? Okay. Normally, missile is of two types. Okay, at least you know what is missile. Yes, there's something called missile that can go anywhere. You just tell him where to go and it will go and attack. Simple. This missile is not a weapon. Please understand, missile is just a vehicle. Just like your car is just a vehicle. In that missile, you will put warheads or weapon. Weapon is called as warhead. Okay. So let's say this is one missile. So in that missile, here I have put this warhead. Can you see? Yes, this is your bomb or something, whatever you call it. That's your weapon. Overall, this missile's task is only to reach to the location you want. You said exactly there, these Pakistani people are there. Just go and attack. So it will go. That's the task of missile. Okay. Now this missile will be of two types. One is called as ballistic missile. Other one is called as cruise missile. You can see in images. Yeah, this one is good image. I'm saying one is ballistic, one is cruise. What's the difference? Simple difference is ballistic missile is someone which will go like this. This path is called as ballistic path. Okay? And for simple understanding, maybe you can see this one is the cruise missile which will go like this. Although it doesn't go exactly this way. But right now just understand, ballistic will go this way, cruise will go this way. Now understand the basic difference why this is happening. First of all, any missile that you are sending, it's like a rocket, normal rocket. In any rocket, how rockets function, how rockets go, just like any other vehicle. For your vehicle, you need petrol, diesel, something, some fuel is needed, right? And you burn that fuel. When you burn that fuel, then you get energy and the vehicle moves. In the same manner, any rocket or any missile works. You need some fuel and you have to burn it. Now this fuel could be of different kinds. Sometimes we have liquid fuel, sometimes we have solid fuel, etc. Clear? Now the point is, when you are burning this fuel, in that case, if you have to go to a very short duration, short location, let's say we're sending something from Rajasthan to some part of Pakistan, okay? Now distance is very short. What do you want? You want that our missile should go very fast and quickly hit the target. And the distance is also very short. In that case, you will use cruise missile, which goes like this. Like this means actually it goes from very near to the surface. Let's say like this, from very near to the surface. And it can hit the location you want. It will hit very precisely. And location is like, let's say 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers. In that case, this cruise missile is very good. And during all its path, it is going to use fuel. Whatever fuel is needed, it is going to use it. Am I right? Now see the difference. Let's say I want to attack someone who is located way far from our location. Let's say from here, we want to attack someone sitting in Beijing. Beijing is quite far. Or let's say in Russia, or let's say at some far location. In that case, if you want to send this cruise missile, what problem you will face is you need lot of fuel, right? You're going for such a long distance and your missile is going and in mid that fuel will be exhausted. How can it go for a longer distance then? Problematic. So they use this logic that let's go for some other missile which will not follow this path and which will not require so much fuel. So they use ballistic missile. How it works? First, this ballistic missile will use all its fuel to go like this. It will go in this direction. Okay, here when it reaches, its fuel is completely exhausted. Now it has no fuel. Okay, now what happens? Because it has gone like this, because of gravity, automatically it will come like this. Does it need fuel now? It doesn't need. So just imagine the fuel this one needed. I think this same missile, if we have ballistic missile, then it can reach to 2 times or 3 times the distance with the same amount of fuel. Am I right? Because of this ballistic path. Make sense? So if you want longer distance, if you want to attack to a person or any city or anything which is at far location, then ballistic missile is good. If something is located very near, you'll go for cruise missile most of the times. Okay, this is the basic difference. There are few more technicalities, but right now let it be, because we have to study Agni 5, otherwise the class will be extended. But this is the basic difference: ballistic path and cruise path. Clear? Now, adding further, when you need to go for such a long distance, the speed has to be also very high. So that speed will be in Mach number. If you have heard, we compare it with speed of sound. Okay, that is something, okay, we'll discuss later on somewhere. Now coming back to Agni 5, we said it's a intercontinental ballistic missile. So first of all, make it very clear, it's a ballistic missile, not cruise missile. So it will go like this. That means it will be covering long distance. Now you see, we had Agni 1. The distance it could cover was 700 kilometers. Okay, Agni 2, 2000 to 3500. Easily will go to China, right? Then Agni 3, 3000 plus. Agni 4, 3500 plus. Then Agni 5, it is being said it can go to somewhere around 5000 kilometer plus. Okay, now we're using one term for everyone. Someone is short range, medium range, intermediate range. Here we are using the term intercontinental. Intercontinental, that means you can cross one continent and reach to different continent. Please understand, you create deterrence against your enemies by making such missiles. If you have a missile which can attack any city of China right now, then China will have some fear, right? So we made so many missiles which can attack Pakistan or China. What about America? Maybe one day America will attack. Who knows? Right now you have decent relations, but who knows? Just few years back, it was America who sent their naval ship against India when this Bangladesh war was taking place. If you remember the history, right? We also called USSR. USSR sent its ship, America sent its ship, and we were having some small world war in Bay of Bengal at that time. So you can't trust anyone in international politics, right? We are concerned about security. Can America attack us at any point of time? It can attack. America is so powerful enough, they can attack in just 30 minutes also. So we always try to build that capability. But the problem is, if you tell everyone that I have the capability to attack you, they will also react. So what Indian government or most of the people, they try to do is, they never tell the real range of this Agni 5 missile. Some people say in reality it is 7,000, 8,000, 6,000. Some newspapers, while reporting, they don't use the word intercontinental. Sometimes they write intermediate ballistic missile. They just don't want any mess up with America or any other countries right now. So they don't want to show it. So very smart, very good. Yes, but even they know that we have capability now. Yes, why America doesn't attack North Korea? Because first of all, they have nuclear weapons. Second, they have intercontinental ballistic missile. Even if you have nuclear weapon, but you can't attack someone who is far located. You can't do anything. The moment you have nuclear weapon also and intercontinental ballistic missile also, put it here and just go. Right? This is how you create deterrence. So Agni 5, for this consideration, we can say Agni 5 is one of the best missiles for the deterrence when we look at those great powers, superpowers, etc. Okay. Now there is one more additional technology which is added in Agni 5. This is something we call as MIRV technology. What happened, man? Okay, it's not working. Let it be. MIRV, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle. In short, you should know what is this technology all about. In short, we call it MIRV technology. Simply, normal missiles used to work this way, that this is the missile. In that missile, there is one warhead over here. Warhead is your bomb or weapon, right? So this missile will go, and let's say you told this missile that you have to attack this location. So it will go and attack this location only. Now we added new technology. Let's say this missile is going and there are so many targets. Here also, there also, there also, there also. Now you can put in 5-10 different warheads in it. It will go like this, and from here 10 different missiles will come out, or 10 different warheads will come out and separately attack different targets. Interesting? That image clearly shows this thing, that how this missile is coming and different warhead is attacking different places. Good technology, very good technology. Okay, this is part of Agni 5. Clear? Now, is from the exam perspective, Agni missile is very important. I think they had asked about Agni missile earlier also. And very simple question. They just asked basically either about the range or whether it's a ballistic missile or cruise, because it's very easy to confuse you. They'll mention it's a cruise missile. You'll say yes, done. Wrong. So very easy question will be there. Clear? That's it. Any doubts? No? Okay then, done.
It's the basic idea of what's happening. So,